Hey everyone, this is Fernando Ribeiro from the Portuguese metal band Moonspell, and this is my shout out to Pedal to the Metal Radio, the podcast with Eduard Gatto. Check it out.
What up, pedalheads? It's your main man, Eddie Motz here, back with another edition of 5 Minutes or Less. That's right, heavy metal reviews at breakneck speeds. But before we get into today's album, which is a good one, I just want to remind all of you to please smash that subscribe button. That's right, hit it. We try to come up with as much content as humanly possible, and I hope that you're all enjoying it, which is the most important thing. So like I said, we got a great album. Portugal won their round of 32 game last night. Today, July 3rd, Moonspell just came out with their brand spanking new album. That's right, their 13th studio album entitled Far From God. I've been following these guys since I first discovered them at college. It was the Butterfly Effect, had been released the year before, and I've been following them ever since. And there's always been a lot of chatter whether they were done or not. Well, obviously they're not, because this is their 13th album, as I said, and it's the follow-up to 2021's Hermitage, which I loved, by the way, and think you should check out. Every album is great in its sense, but this one is a return to their roots. That's right, I'm not going to call it Irreligious Part 2, but it's got a lot of that feel and that sound, along with Wolfheart, which is another well-celebrated Moonspell record. But this definitely brings them back. And Cross Your Heart is one of those tracks that starts it all off with its post-punk sound. It's an absolute great track. Fernando shines on this one. He shines on the whole record, but this one he really does. Far From God has a cool driving bass line that just reminds me of why I love Eurogoth acts like Moonspell and Candlemass and 69 Eyes and you keep going, you name it, and why I love it. That's right. Biblical is infectious with its chorus. It's going to get stuck in your head, right? And it's very atmospheric in nature with everything that's going on. The cool guitar solo. The Great Wolf in the Sky is an awesome track, which is generally about werewolves. He does mention a lot of the different names for them, but most importantly, it features Spanish artist Alicia. I'm probably going to say this wrong. Alicia Nerno. If I did, I apologize 100%. She provided the string arrangement, more like a whole entire orchestra and just what she did. But the track, most importantly, is a tribute to a fan who didn't make it to the release of this record, so it's very, very cool. Your Promise of Light is a romantic driven track that has, it's really driven by the drums, is what I'm trying to, which was what I was trying to say, with a cool guitar riff and all that stuff. But the highlight to me in this whole entire album, right, is Our Freedom to Fall, because it feels like that climactic point in a story where everything that's been building up has come, right to a crash, right head to head with everything that's going on, and that is what's happening in this track. Also, it's got a very typo negative kind of chug to it that's going on, so it's very, very cool. And then, but it's Fernando's vocals that really help drive the track as he goes from goth crooner to screamer on the song. Very, very cool. And the album is very, very good. I really loved it. It's definitely a return to form for Moonspell, and I definitely think you should all check it out. So after taking every single track and grading every single track in the album with all its individual grades, totaled it all up, got the sum, and I'm giving it 4.71 stars out of 5. This is definitely a contender for me for Metal Album of the Year. I'm going to say it right now. They fucking rule. I think you should check it out. So that's going to do it for 5 Minutes or Less. I've been your host, Eddie Monster. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Stay metal.